Greetings Zimbabwe and welcome to Zimbabwe Daily. Today we are coming to you live from Harare Polytechnic, where the Zimbabwe Electricity Transmission and Distribution Company is launching its smart metering exercise.
We're not talking of just prepaid metering, but we're talking of smart. You heard that it is intelligent, it is much more smarter. We're moving towards smart grid, we're moving towards fourth industrial revolution, and we are ready as a utility. Our team here, ably led by Engineer Sharon, will do the demonstration. I have loved to do it for the entire of Harare, but we had to choose somewhere which is here at Harare Poly. So I'll hand over to our team, led by Engineer Sharon.
Thank you, Mr. Mtwiri. Yeah, here we have got, unfortunately inside there you are not allowed this high voltage area. Otherwise it a problem. So that's why we otherwise could have taken you in, but because of the safety concerns, we have to remain outside. Here we have got unfortunately our box, but I'm sure I can all see. On the right here, we've got a smart meter. We have replaced the old meter that was here, and we've installed this smart meter. This is the smart meter. It's one of the two types. This is an Iskra Emeco meter, but we've got also the other type. It's a very high precision, class 0.2s. In other words, the error margin, it's plus or minus 0.2. And then on the left, this small one here is a prepaid meter. I'm sure you are all familiar with this meter in your houses. Another point we are metering them using this meter here, the smart meter. This is what is measuring all the power coming to Harare Poly. The prepaid meter we installed it just for demonstration purposes. I've got with me engineer Mtubuki, Said Mtubuki. Is going to demonstrate the prepaid metering. And I think among the team we have got Madam Shelon Love. Madam Love, I think she's holding a laptop, you can see. For the smart meter, because it's an intelligent, she's going to demonstrate, switch off this meter remotely. There's no direct connection between the laptop, and she's going through the network, through Econet to our offices where the agent system is sitting, and then here to switch off the meter. Because we can't switch off Harare Poly, we are going to use the floodlights. We've wired the floodlights to demonstrate how we remotely disconnect. Through the laptop, you'll be able to see everything that is happening on the meter here. So maybe we start off with the Engineer Mtubuki here is holding a cell phone. He's going to demonstrate how we load tokens on the prepaid meter, and also how you can see remaining tokens. I'm sure you're all aware that at your houses they've got a CIU, customer interface unit, which you use to load credit. But with the current meters that we've acquired, there's no need for the customer interface unit. You can use your cell phone, either Android or iOS, as long as it's a smartphone. So Engineer Mtubuki is going to demonstrate that. So I think I'll start off with the smart meter, the big brother, Madam Go. You can explain what you are doing and so that they all understand. You can come forward.
Thank you.
So there's no connection. They are remotely disconnecting.
Morning, everyone.
This young man is genius, Matsia. He's working with the Mrs. involved.
Yes, so the smart meter, as soon as it's installed in the field, we have a dedicated team in the back office.
So you can go here at the back.
We have a dedicated team at the back office which will be responsible for registering the smart meter in the house. As Engineer Sharon was doing his presentation earlier on, he touched on the head-end system. So we register the smart meter in the head-end system. And as soon as we have finished registering the smart meter in the head-end system, we can now interrogate it. So now this one we finished installing, registering it in the head-end system. It will have a unique serial number. It will have a unique IP address, which will enable it to communicate with the head-end system. So we can connect the smart meter from the head-end system. We can disconnect it from the head-end system. We can actually see the instantaneous power from the back office. We can also do load curtailment from the back office. We can also check the load profiles from the back office. We can also check events that are happening on the meter from the back office to say this cover has been removed, There's no power on line 1. We can also check the phasers from the head office. We can also see the power factor from the heading system. So we are going to demonstrate the use cases right now. We are going to disconnect this meter.
Right, maybe before you disconnect, what they are going to do is they will disconnect and will invite an engineer lady here to reconnect, correct? So that at least and one perhaps member from your side, I know Nanazim Daily, from your end, from the media side, to actually come and demonstrate, so that as we take kunzi, aiwa no vakangozvita vari vega. Isusu hatina chekuvanza, tiri magentlemen.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to perform a disconnect execution to disconnect those floodlights that are on the. I wish I had a projector to actually show you what I'm doing on the screen.
Okay, so our meters, we have scheduled jobs on the heading system that pull readings from the meter every day at 12 a.m. This is to increase the yield, because usually off-peak the network is healthy, and usually most of our places will be having power, because during the day sometimes we do not have power in some areas. So the meter automatically sends its readings at 12 a.m. every day. So we have some reports that we have ran from this meter. Oh, okay. It finally hit our command.
Yeah, what she is saying here is you were fortunate enough to meet two things. When you were about to switch off, apparently for the scheduled scheduled jobs in terms of reading of the meter were happening at the same time. So this isn't it this beautiful? So that's what was happening. But you can see that they've actually switched off. So it means that Harare Poly papenenge sinamai magets principal vanenge vari South Africa conference umva ngoti ga ndikuona vanhu vari kubika kuma rooms. So and at the same time manje what is being said here is that the principal will be reading through those scheduled jobs in terms of usage, in terms of the entire data. That's what is called metering, you see. So smart metering, we have the data, we have the usage, we have all the, even in terms of graphical representation of that information, it will be available. I think those who are close can actually testify that this is what is happening. So indeed smart.
Okay, so what we have just witnessed was a momentary timeout on the Econet network. This meter has an Econet SIM card installed in it. So there was a momentary timeout, so the command took long to get to the meter because of the network. But as soon as the network improved, we saw the disconnection command going through. So we invite one lady engineer to come and reconnect.
Yeah.
So we are just telling it the command to use so that she can reconnect the meter.
So he knows later the connection and a network.
Okay, did you hear that? Those who are close, they could actually hear the
sound. Let's give a round of applause. Engineer Mtsambia is the one who switched on Harare Poly. You can.
So that's one of the things that you can do to the smart meter remotely. Then we can also check events on this particular meter. It will just tell you everything that happens on it. It will tell you everything. If you touch its cover and you remove it, it will tell us. someone touched my cover and removed it. At 12 a.m., someone touched my cover and someone replaced the cover at 1 a.m. It's so interesting to see that over the festive season, you can see a lot of activities going on. So it is very beneficial to us as a utility and to us as a nation to say that we can now help each other save the precious electricity. There will be no tampering. Tampering will be a history, because once we notice that there have been a tamper, then the necessary processes will take place to make sure that we recover our lost revenue. Thank you, Mr. Mtsi.
So most of you, I think you can testify that it was worth really coming here to witness this part of an activity that contributes nationally and forms part of Zesa's strategic response to Vision 2030, where we believe no one and no house will be left behind. And so now I will invite Engineer Mtubuki to demonstrate to us the Bluetooth functionality yeku-recharge. Chaite ziya zokudodonya mchile zvakungoitwa netechnology. Engineer Mtubuki, over to you.
Prepayment meter.
Yeah, but this one is for the prepayment meter, because remember the smart meter, not the prepayment meter, to new prepayment meters.
Oh, thank you. So this side here we have a prepaid meter that has got added functionalities from the ones that you already know. You are familiar with those customer interface units in your homes, and ZDC has managed to improve on that and managed to introduce a new meter with Bluetooth functionality. So with this meter you can now communicate or interact with it using your ordinary smartphone, be it Android or iOS. So here, one simple thing that I'm going to show first, maybe is just the disconnection. This bulb here is connected to this meter, and you can be able to send a command to this meter to disconnect this bulb. So it has managed to disconnect using a smartphone. So it has got a range of 30 meters. You should be able to do this in your home, in the comfort of your home, without going to a particular socket to look for command. Now, you can also be able to recharge your prepaid meter using a smartphone as well. So this is a mobile app called Pocket PA. It's a pocket power system mobile app that you can carry, you can use to communicate to your meter here. So, and you can also check the consumption, your monthly, your daily consumptions using this app as well. So this beautiful feature will allow you to be conveniently connected to your meter without necessarily having to worry about top-up challenges. So this is how it works. I would maybe invite one of our colleagues here from here. They can even show you, they can even try to do the disconnection that I did as well. So we are going to enter the meter number 3726
So what the engineer is explaining is that the CIU, that white thing on motion side is still there. Actually it's in the car, you can take it. But this cell phone is an alternative means of entering tokens or seeing remaining credits on the meter when you are seeing IU has failed. Currently we have got a challenge whereby about 65% of our faults for customers are because the CIU has failed, that customer interface unit. So if it has failed, you can't load credit, you can't do anything. But now there's an alternative way of using your cell phone. If you've got 5 or so 6 cell phones, you can connect but not all one at a time. So either iPhone or Android phone, you can do that. The app is available. I'm sure after this we can maybe share with you the app, and it will be available on our website free of charge.
So is there a USS code associated with that app, given that I don't have data?
Yeah, it doesn't use data, so it's free. It's a free app that doesn't use data. You only need to turn on your Bluetooth and your location.
So the meters, the 103,000 that we are going to be deploying are actually of this type.
I'll also call from some representatives from the media to actually come close.
So he has managed to read the instantaneous power from his phone. Those who are close can see.
So instantaneous power, that's the load that is connected at that particular moment. You see how much is the meter consuming. You can see it from your cell phone.
This meter number.
That's it.
Okay, ndaona kuti you can connect a meter using different cell phones, but I understand we have got a security situation whereby mbavha dzogona kusvika pamusha. Apana a lockout system yekuti inokwanisa kuloka the devices dzepamba chete, so that munhu ari outside akwanise kuti dzimwe anoike dziri pamba.
Yes, but for you to connect to the meter, you need to know the serial number of the meter. So can number has your serial number, of which there's no way Bava can know your serial number.
You have scores,
Beyond that, there is also this app has got security as well. You need to enter a password, which is your unique password that you choose to be able to connect with this meter. So with this one, we managed to do it because I've shared with him how to connect. So there's no risk of anyone else just coming to your meter and disconnecting it, checking your readings.
With regards to the rollout of these meters, are you replacing the old prepaid meters with this one nationwide, or is targeting selected households?
Yeah, actually we've got customers who are still on the postpaid. Remember, we did phase 1, so we are actually targeting those who are postpaid and migrate them to prepaid. And if your meter gets full today, we replace you with the one with the Bluetooth. So we are not, there are no special customers. Anyone can have this meter.
In terms of suppliers, I understand for the previous version of prepaid meters, you could get them from other guys like G-Tel and the likes. Is it the same case with these ones as well?
Yeah, those are customer supplied meter scheme. We've got currently, I think, about 21 listed agents by Zesa. So they are selling these meters as well. So the meters that you are buying from July 2022, our spec changed. We now require meters with Bluetooth. So going forward, all meters that will be coming, they should have Bluetooth connectivity.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, I think do we have anyone who still has a burning question? Otherwise, I think, yes, Madam Yvonne.
Yes, how long do you think we're going to have everyone on prepaid metering? Because I think it's now 10 years since the last time we started. Where are we now? How many more households still need to be connected to the prepaid metering?
Yeah, like I said, we're given a target of June 2023 to have migrated all the 103,000 remaining to prepaid. So our target is June 2023 to have migrated. I don't know, journalists, is there someone who's still on postpaid? You're on postpaid?
Yeah.
You can give me some spirit, then I think we arrange with our other region to have this Bluetooth meter at your house.
So perfect. So is there anyone again while he's still there?
Where's the offer is open?
Where's the offer?
My smart metering in there.
Smart in the my customer one.
Large and medium power users.
You wanted the smart?
And also I think the other issue that he didn't mention is that as we grow, we are witnessing increased economic activities, we are witnessing growth in terms of housing projects, and all those now are automatically coming with the new prepaid meters. You get the point. So you see that there are growth in terms of houses we witness it. It's also we speak it from authority because we witness the increase in demand of electricity. So that is also going to be addressed by the coming prepaid meters. Yes.
We have a scenario whereby there are some households that are never cut off from electricity, and there are others who get excessive power cuts. Would this smart metering and Bluetooth what help address those inequalities that we are seeing with the power cuts that we're experiencing now?
Yeah, quite correct. Currently, people staying in the avenues and maybe same video variant or can't switch those off. But if you put a smart meter, you can target customers, individual customers, and switch them off. It can do what is called selective load shedding. It's possible with a smart meter.
But those are for high-end users.
Also, we've got a few, because like I said, our target was for big customers, but I think we've got a few for just like a prepaid, but to be a smart meter. So we're going to be deploying those for those like mobile network operators, where their meters only mounted, they can't always be going up, they can load remotely.
Okay.
And those customers who are RIPAMA sensitive feeders like your avenues, you can put a smart meter so that they can also load set.
Right, let me now take this opportunity to wrap up. I will invite, again, I will invite the vice principal, the principal, to then speak to us as we wrap up. Should you have any questions for him, you'll be standing here. Dr. Engineer Mudondo. Let's give him a round of applause.
Yeah, thanks very much, Mr. Mutspiri. We have seen the demonstration, we have seen it live. We are happy that we are on the smart meter, as I earlier on alluded in my speech. Our students, our staff is now an opportunity to go smart in terms of using our electricity so that we use it productively. I thank you. If there are any questions, I may take it.
Do we have any questions for? We are not asking for places. No. We are asking questions to do with the smart metering.
Yes.
Yes.
The engineer spoke about load curtailment. Can you shed more light on that?
Okay. Yeah, no, this one goes back to Zesa.
A load curtailment is when we are going to be using our smart metering functionality to make sure that we limit the load that's being used in the households or in the large power users and the medium power users. We might be having suppressed power generation sometimes, and we would want people to limit their load so that we can save the little power that would be available at that particular time. So that's when we will then implement that functionality to say, let's not operate at 100%, let's maybe cut it to 50% so that everyone can at least have a slice of the cake.
Sorry, engineer, when you say 50%, how does that then affect my equipment? Am I able to smartly also reduce the capacity of the machine to 50%?
Okay, our PR will initially communicate with the clients to say that can you reduce your load, but we know that not everyone will comply at the rate that we would want them to comply. Then that's when we have to send that command to say reduce it.
Thank you.
Yes. When we talk of load curtailment, the smart meter is not there just to cut off supplies every time. There are other output contacts that we can use for, let's say, connecting you directly to your geyser, connecting you directly to your air conditioner, or any other large power usage machines or loads. So instead of cutting off a customer totally, if let's say there's suppressed generation, we can send commands quietly and switch off your geyser, and you may not even know it. like we used to do with the repo control system. And then when the system improves, you can switch that one back on using other contacts other than the main contactor on the smart meter.
Okay.
Right.
Finally, final question. Just finally,
Yes, okay.
how does this whole smart metering connect with the other overall objective of having households solar powered?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the meter actually is what we use for like net metering. We've got the program of net metering where some customers have got excess renewable energy like solar panels. They want to feed that energy back into the grid. Smart meter can measure in two directions, import and export. It has got what is called 4-quadrant feature. So when a customer generates excess power, it can feed that power back into the grid. And when there is no generation at night, the customer can now get power from the grid into the... That is what is called net metering. Yeah. So net metering is one of the programs that is going, that we expect to assist us in alleviating. Actually, we've got the engineer running with that in HK. I think you have seen me, yes. You can come and explain in more detail on net metering. He's the engineer running with net metering.
Thank you very much, President, for the opportunity. So with net metering, you find a lot of people are going solar, a lot of people are going renewable energy. So net metering, you purchase a grid-tied inverter. It's a bit different from the ordinary hybrid inverters that most people have. So this grid-tied inverter is the capacity to send power back to Zesa without creating any faults. So if you have a solar and a grid-tied inverter, or you have a solar and a hybrid inverter which can be activated into grid-tied mode, it means that you can now export your power to Zesa, then you are now using Zesa as your battery bank. So during the day, you are exporting excess power to Zesa. During the night, you save your batteries, then draw power for free from Zesa. So what it then means to the client is that your battery, which was supposed to last you 6, 7 or 10 years as a lithium battery, you can now have that battery lasting you maybe twice as much because you are no longer cycling that battery. So we are actually encouraging people to get on net metering. We have reduced the net metering cost. It's now almost free. It's just a ceremonial charge for you to get on net metering. So we are encouraging everyone who has a solar system, export your power to Zesa, reduce load shedding. At the same time, save your batteries. And battery is the most significant cost on the solar system anyway. Thank you very much.
Thank you, engineer. I think I'm now in the interest of time.
I can see our comms engineers here. There were a lot of questions. Me, I'm not a comms expert. I think I will give him an opportunity to answer. His name is Blessed Mangras. He's from our communications department. But smart metering, for it to run effectively, it needs to ride on effective or efficient communication. So there were a lot of questions asked on communication. I tried to answer, but
it's fine. Thank you so much.
Maybe not the question. Maybe what the questions were around. Do we have arrangements in terms of the providers, both primary, secondary, and how do we ensure effective operation of the net metering in the site of maybe network challenges?
Okay. So what we have done as the DTDC is we have approached. What we have done as the DTDC is we have approached all the mobile network operators in the country, which is Telecel, Econet, and Net1, and we have acquired our own private access point network (APN) for the smart metering system that we have. We have also ensured that all the meters are going to have static IP addresses, and through a VPN network, we have established direct communication between our servers and all the smart meters that we are going to be rolling out, even the ones that we've already rolled out. So that way, we are not using the ordinary network that you guys use for internet. It's like we have our own private network for the smart metering, dedicated for the smart metering project. So it's going to be way, way better than the speeds that you experience on your mobile phones. Is there any other questions?
Yes.
Yeah, mine is on net metering. He spoke about Zesa being the power bank, if I may put it that way. How are you going to execute that? Are you going to install new power lines to ensure that the whole process takes place? Shed more light on that.
For net metering, we're saying during the day, right? You are using your solar, there is excess sunlight, is it? And then the excess energy that you get, you export to ZTDC. You don't need to have additional power lines. You just export using the existing lines that you normally use when there is no solar at your house. So you just use those lines to export the power to ZTDC. And we have this smart meter which is measuring all the amount of excess power that you're exporting to ZTDC. So then during the night, you have say given Zesa about 100 kilowatts for example. So during the night, Zesa now gives you power and then we subtract from that balance. So you don't need additional equipment for that, except the smart meter, which is capable of net metering.
So more on net metering, we're actually going to roll out a communication campaign that is going to give you much more details. Let's give him a round of applause, Engineer Care and him. Some of you, Mnosondona, then we can always make sure that we give you enough information. So at this point in time, we're just going to have a few photo shoot. This is our first installation. So I'll invite the principal here.
Basically, we are gathered here for a very important issue, a very important thing in the history of ZTDC and cumulatively Zesa. If you may know that we've been having a backlog in terms of customers who are actually who wanted the prepaid and smart meters. Most of our large customers have been relying on postpaid. This has brought a lot of disadvantages and inconvenience to both parties. For example, you notice that at times when there is no management of the electricity used and the bills get high, and times you'd get some complaints that you are overcharging me. But with this initiative that we have launched today, it is a direct response to the National Development Strategy. If you may know, the National Development Strategy has got certain key pillars. One is energy security, and the one we're launching today is the one to do with the digital economy. You know, in this world of global technological transformation, the fourth industrial revolution, we need to make innovations for the country. And the smart meters are an innovation in their technology. Now the customer is able to use the electricity they want. Even on the prepaid meters, they can detect. You know, we used to have challenges with the customers not wanting prepaid meter readers on their premises, postpaid on their premises. Now this is just done on a gadget by the customers. But the most important thing also that it brings now that our large customers will now be using the electricity and paying for it before they use it. This enhances revenue generation for Zesa Holdings. As you know, we've got several challenges to do with maintenance, and we declared that these first few years are the year of redeployment, of deployment and also implementation. So the funds that we will get now from the customers will help us to also put it into issues like tools of trade. For example, you know, the issue of smart fault locators, the issue of vehicles, and all this will be deploying the funds to issues of importance to enable access to everyone as per the government's vision.
So the smart metering is like a prepayment for high electricity users?
The smart meters are yes, they will do that, but they are more intelligent, because they are now actually, it's technology. Some actually call them the intelligent meters, whereby you'll be directing it to do what you want. You can analyze your energy usage and the various trends, as you saw as per the demonstration.
Okay, thank you.
All right.